तो एक्ट्स का हम लोग आज पढ़ेंगे, डिफरेंट एक्ट्स हम लोग पढ़ लें। यू शुरू करें। हाँ, टुडे as I have said to you that we have finished the journey which started from 1773 to 1947. We have dealt and we have read about governor generals, viceroys. So we have finished at Lord Mountbatten. Clear? Now we will know very intelligently about some acts and very important acts promulgated by the British government or the East India Company. So we start from 1773. You start writing. Number one, regulating act of 1773. Regulating Act of 1773 following important things were seen in this act. First, changes in Constitution of India, changes in Constitution of East India Company. Changes in Constitution of East India Company. Second, action of directors of East India Company to be supervised by British government. Third, Governor General appointed for Bengal and he was given powers to supervise Bombay and Madras presidency. Next, appointed Supreme Court of India at Calcutta. Supreme Court of India at Calcutta. Now we will go in detail. Now we will go in detail. First, the beginning of parliamentary control. The beginning of parliamentary control over the company. Second, subordination of presidencies of Bombay, Madras, to Bengal, comma, Governor of Bengal made Governor General a Supreme Court was established in Fort William, Calcutta. Now write with red. Now write with red. If you don't have red, then write very important. This act laid the foundation of a unitary type of government in British India. You continue with writing with red. According to Lord Northbrook, every article in this act is framed with a view. Every article in this act is framed with a view to placing of affairs of East India Company every article in this act is framed with a view to placing of affairs of East India Company on a solid, clear, decisive establishment. Now leave this line, a second line with red. According to Mr. Burke, B-U-R-K-E, according to Mr. Burke, this act was an infringement. This act was an infringement of national right, national faith, and national justice. We have finished this act 1773. Now leave at least 4 to 5 lines. At least 4 to 5 lines. And next, Pitt's India Act, P-I-T-T, Pitt's India Act, Pitt's India Act 1784. 1784. Following are the main features. Following are the main features of Pitt's India Act. First, British government got supreme control over East India Company. British government got supreme control over East India Company. Second, Government of India was placed under Governor General and Council of 3 members. It retaliated the supremacy of British Council over administration of East India Company. It retaliated the supremacy of British Parliament over administration of East India Company. It reduced, second है, This was first. First was, which I have told you. A second, it reduced the strength of council. It reduced the strength of council from 4 to 3. Third, East India Company territories in India, East India Company territories in India were called British possessions. British possessions. Next means fourth. Governors Council was established in Madras and Bombay. In Madras and Bombay. Now write with red. Sir C. Ilbert. Sir C. Ilbert said about this act. Sir C. Ilbert said about this act, this act enunciated a system. This act enunciated a system which with its combinations comma dilatory procedures and its elaborate system of checks plus counter checks though modified in details, remained substantially in force till 1858. Till 1858. Next. When I say next, it means that is finished. You give another heading, leaving at least 4 to 5 lines. Charter Act 1813, 1813. Charter Act 1813. Start writing with red. It ended trade monopoly. It ended trade monopoly of East India Company. Now, the trade in and with India was thrown open to all British persons. To all British persons. Now, one thing, up till now, you just for a while keep your eyes closed. Go inside. Don't close here. I am just saying. Put yourself in and go in the past which we have read. Starting from 1498. It means entry of different European nations time to time in India. Primarily, they came for trade. Right? Primarily, they came for trade. Only trade, and only trade. Trade, and only trade, and nothing but trade. When they came here, only East India Company of England remained. Other companies from Denmark, French, and so many, time to time they came, they could not survive here. They left. They all have come here not to live, but for survival. They had to fight. They had to fight. So fight was also in two types. First, they have to fight the nations or persons who were already trading in India before their arrival. And second, they started fighting with themselves. Ultimately, English were in position to throw all of them away. They were defeated and they left. Then they started making establishments. Definitely, all these companies from European nations were not called. Indians have not called them. So they were rather unwelcome. Understood? They were unwelcome. And we were producing so much spice without market. Because there was a 100% lack of communications. Even the route to India was also unknown to the world. Clear? So when they came here, their first purpose in about 50 to 100 years, they settled here. All all the benefits and concessions and subsidies and help they were getting from the rulers of India. Sometimes by Jamurin, sometimes by Mughals. In Darbars, their representatives came here and they started requesting, they started giving some gifts from their nation, brought from their nation, which was not available to kings and nawabs in India. It was actually a trap. Clear? It was actually a trap. I call it a honey trap. I call it a honey trap. हिंदी में उसको लुभाया गया. And the people of India, the rulers, what to call of people? People of India are and were and are helpless even today and in those times also. Where is the tongue of people? You know better. जनता की आवाज आज कहां है, कल कहां थी, आगे कहां होगी, आपसे ज्यादा कोई नहीं जानता है. You know it? Where is the people say it was not, it is not, I can't predict of the coming times. So they got the permission, they got the help to do the business. In return, they made and kept that Nawab or Raja always happy. Leave the जनता, पब्लिक की बात लीव छोड़ दीजिए. Gradually, they made settlements. They started opening factories. They started opening factories with the permission of rulers. Then next step, they started making settlements, houses, basawat, and putting their persons, workers in that residences, houses. Then see how intelligently and how silently they creeped. They not entered, they creeped. रेंग करके कैसे वो हिंदुस्तान की अर्थव्यवस्था में घुस गए. You feel it? They did not do anything, everything. They had got patience too much. Slowly, they entered in our society. They started making marriages among Indians. So family relations. Now, fortification, kilebandi. They started fortification of the settlements. And now the real story starts. When it is fortified, it means kilebandi. Then definitely there will be paredar. Without permission, no one can enter. See the intelligent procedure. And when the area is fortified, they started putting arms and ammunition for in the name of safety. And now they started the most important phase. At times, in most rural, remote areas, they succeeded also. What I want to say? What I want to say? They came for trade, they started residing, they started settlements, this fortification, and now they started some business, not trade, some social business which flourished not in urban areas. It flourished in the remote areas, illiterate areas, poor people. What they were doing? I am going to dictate you. That is the line where I have stopped my lecture. Put your pressure on the brain, concentrate. They are earning a lot. They are doing business nicely. They are exporting too much. They are earning. They are marrying. Marriages are coming and marriages are going on in India. Everything. Now they are satisfied. But satisfaction level is only 90%. What is that 10% left? And that phase, that part, they tried utmost. They succeeded also. So they were successful in India, not in 100%. Definitely they ruled here. They ruled here. But their last thinking or the last aim or the last phase which they started in remote and rural illiterate areas is still unfinished. What I want to say, what they wanted. And they started doing this business. You know everybody. Everybody knows the answer. But I want to hear from your side. What they were trying, and they tried also, and they got success also, but not in the urban areas, but in the rural, remote forest areas where the poverty, the poor persons did not even understood that what is going on. ठीक है, बोलना नहीं है. I know that you will answer. This is my style of speech, but don't disclose to anybody. That line, put that one line which I am going to dictate you. You put that line vacant. We put the line vacant, and I am not going to dictate you. You fill up that line. Don't never share this line with anyone, whoever the person may be. नहीं तो you are a greatest fool. मैंने देखा है in jobs, in activity, social or religious, whatever it is, mood swings are actually not permitted. But mood swings cannot be checked also. It is a normal human behavior of mood swing. Sometimes I give time to my student, and to same student I deny giving my time. This is mood swing. And one thing, you also remember, What is the quality of a heart muscle? Anybody? What is the quality of a heart muscle? Not brain, not eyes, not lungs. What is the most important one quality of heart muscle? One quality of heart muscle. I will come to you. No. What is the most important function of and specialty of heart muscle only? हार्ट मसल की एक क्वालिटी है जो पूरे शरीर के किसी भी मसल में वो क्वालिटी नहीं है. I want to say something. I'm just giving the example. Chalo. You do the job. You do the job. Chart next. Chart now. First faint beginning of a central legislature in matters of selection for state services. According to Lalse, by red, according to Lord Morley, according to Lord Morley, this act was most important. This act was most important act passed by Parliament. This act was most important act passed by Parliament till 1909. 1909. Next. Leave 4 to 5 lines. Charter Act 1853. 1853. Following were the important features of this act. Following were the important features of this act. First, it was the last charter act. Second, Indian Civil Services, ICS, now open for all. Now open for all. Third, for first time, legislature is given right to frame, right to frame its own rules of procedures, rules of procedures. Next, Government of India Act, Government of India Act 1858. 1858. It placed लाल से रेड से it placed India under direct control, under direct government of Crown. So post of Governor General was now to be known as Viceroy. Second, Office of Secretary of State, Office of Secretary of State, oblique Council of India, was created. Next, India Council Act, और उतना जगह छोड़ दो, India Council Act 1861. India Council Act 1861. Following things were seen in this act. First, it enlarged Governor General's Council. Second, Legislative Council established at center and in presidencies. Third, provinces and councils now to include non-official members. Next, Ilbert Bill, ILBERT, Ilbert Bill 1883. Ilbert Bill 1883. You write completely right with red. It was an attempt by Lord Ripon. It was an attempt by Lord Ripon, Rippon, to pass a law to empower. It was an attempt by Lord Ripon to pass a law to empower Indian district magistrates to try Europeans in criminal cases. You underline criminal cases and you underline Europeans. You underline Europeans and underline criminals. Now you give with red, you give a heading by side that very, very important. Europeans in India opposed it. Europeans in India opposed it. Next. Indian Council Act 1892, 1892. Following were the important features. Following were the important features as well as changes seen in this act. It enlarged the size. It enlarged the size and function of central as well as provincial council. It enlarged the size and function of central as well as provincial council. Second, council now got the right to discuss budget under certain conditions. Third, members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted rights to ask questions. Members of council were granted right to ask questions. This was definitely a very important step. Next, Indian Council Act, Indian Council Act 1909. Indian Council Act 1909 bracket Morley Minto reforms. Morley Minto reforms. Following were the important features seen in this act. Just turn back your pages and go to Indian Council Act 1861. Not too much far, उतना पीछे नहीं है. 1861. Got? You add one thing, one line. Imperial Legislative Council. Only add this thing. Imperial Legislative Council. Now come to 1909. Come to 1909. First, increased number of elected members in Imperial Legislative Council and Provincial Council and Provincial Council. Now we will see this. We will see this in detail. In detail. First, number one. It was an attempt. It was an attempt at introducing a representative and a popular element. Second, council for first time referred to as legislative council. Now you will write with red with a very important note. You will write by this one side. You will write with red. Plus you will write very important. So first write very important. Then I will dictate that line. Separate electorates for Muslims introduced. And fourth, now you can stop writing by red. Fourth, beginning of non-official resolution, beginning of non-official resolution in council. Next, Government of India Act, Government of India Act 1919, 1919. Government of India Act 1919 in bracket Montagu-Chelmsford reforms. Montagu, Montagu dash Chelmsford, Chelmsford. Montagu-Chelmsford reform. The important features of this act are: number one, it divided function of central and provincial governments. It divided function of central and provincial governments. Central legislature divided into two chambers. First, Council of State, and second, Legislative Assembly. Second, it gave limited responsibility. To representatives. Next, third, diarchy in provinces and relaxation of central control over provinces. Fourth, Indian legislature made more representative as bicameral, bicameral, Legislative Assembly Council of States to consist of 140 and 60 members respectively. Next, Government of India Act 1935. Following important features were seen in this act. First, it provided for establishment of All India Federation, a new system for government, for provinces on basis of provincial autonomy. You underline this word, provincial autonomy. Second, threefold division of legislative power. To consist of federal / provincial and concurrent list. Third, bicameral central legislature to consist of Federal Assembly and Council of State. Next, Indian Independence Act 1947. The most important features of this act can be seen below. First, write with red. First, sovereignty, oblique responsibility of British Parliament abolished. You underline this word abolished. Second, Dominion legislature now sovereign. Third, Governor General, comma, provincial governors now became a constitutional head. And fourth, Crown now seized, CEASED, Crown now seized, you underline this, Crown seized to be the supreme authority. We have yesterday, I think we have finished appeal cancellations of government acts, Lahore resolution, round table, first, second, third conferences with the timetable, and reports. No reports we have not dealt. Home rule league we have dealt, and important parties, political parties we have dealt. So in the next time we'll talk about women's in India, passive resistance movement. Write it. Why not writing? हैं? क्या कर रहा है? One, two, three तो हो ही गया है. हाँ. We'll deal about passive resistance, civil disobedience movement, famines, and reports, plans, and awards. Reports, different reports starting from 1928 to 1947. We'll deal with this.